The Beekeeper is a 2024 action thriller film directed by David Ayer and written by Kurt Wimmer and stars Jason Statham as Adam Clay. The movie came out January 12th, 2024, has a runtime of 105 minutes, and directed by David Ayer. You could be like, wait, does that sound familiar? Yes, it is familiar because he directed the first Suicide Squad movie and also Street Kings. And Kurt Wimmer is the writer of Salt, that starred Angelina Jolie, and he also wrote the screenplays for the remake for Total Recall and Point Break. Now, this film, Jason Statham is a former operative of a clandestine organization called the Beekeepers. After his friend and neighbor dies by a sudden tragedy, falling for a phishing scam online, Adam Clay sets out revenge against the company responsible. Not only that, we have Josh Hutcherson as Derek Danforth, Jeremy Irons as Wallace Whitfield, Gemma Redgrave as Danforth's mother, and Minnie Driver as Director Howard, and Felissa Rashad as Eloise Parker. Now, you might be saying to yourself, oh, a guy goes after revenge for his friend because he's a beekeeper, whatever. This is definitely different than what you would actually expect it to be. The action is what really brings you in, and Jason Statham kicks ass. This is probably his best film in a really long time. And David Ayer directing an action movie and a gritty look is always the way to go. Not only that, the aspect in the story of the beekeeper, the hive, the queen, the colonies, what will someone do to protect the queen or the hive, and what happens when someone else from this beehive goes rogue is really interesting. There is an underlining story to all of what is happening. Now, with the phishing scam, it starts off with Felicia Rashad's character of Eloise falling scam to, like I said, identity theft, fraud. She had over $2 million in all of her bank accounts. It gets wiped out. Something tragic happens, and then Jason Statham steps in and goes after the people responsible. But there is more to this organization and who's running it and who's actually funding it. The aspect of what you think it could be is eye-opening. Not only that, Jeremy Irons as Wallace Westland is really good, but he's a supporting character. He's very underlining. Jeremy Irons is not in that many scenes, and for what it is, Josh Hutcherson as Derek Danforth really flies under the radar, and I mean that in a negative way, because he's the villain of this film, and it's like, what, really? I mean, it just didn't feel cohesive enough for someone like Josh Hutcherson to be a villain in a movie of this magnitude. And the aspect of what Derek Danforth is, how he became wealthy, why he's wealthy, and what happens, and who is behind everything. It's like, oh, he's just doing this to make money. Yeah, he makes money in certain ways. He's a druggie, he's an alkie, he parties. He's that 28-year-old that likes to have fun and make money. What 28-year-old doesn't? Well, then you cross the beekeeper. The CIA aspect is there. The FBI aspect is there. And then when someone hears that, oh, Adam Clay's a beekeeper, people look around. It's like that feeling of people knew who John Wick was in the John Wick movies. When you mention John Wick, it's like, oh, they know who Adam Clay is. The action scenes are over the top and great. Very well done with the fight choreography. There's no quick pan movements. It's all steady when he's fighting, and it's actually from afar. It's not close up in your face where you can't see him land the punches. There are gunfights, there's knife fights, there's a brass knuckle fight, and there's an aspect of, okay, how is this all going to end? It's really done really well. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the villain. If the villain was a little bit more intense and more of a threat, by actually being a threat to the character of Adam Clay and not standing behind a computer screen or standing behind other people to protect him, then I would have been like, okay, this is a fantastic movie. It is a good movie. If you love action thrillers like I do, if you love Jason Statham like I do, check this movie out. It's really fun. Then when the secrets unravel, then you understand the story, understand what's happening, how everything is connected, and you're like, oh, holy shit, wow. Some characters don't know what other characters are doing. Some characters do know, but it's also the aspect of what is really going on. What is the secret that needs to be unraveled? And sometimes if you really watch it like I did, you'll be like, oh, that's who that person is and that's why they're doing it. But did they really know what the other person was doing? It's a sort of a film like that. The explosions are great, the action is great, the fight scenes are great. Other than that, the villain just didn't feel cohesive enough to be a threat in this movie. If you like Jason Statham, like I said, check this movie out. David Ayer needs to direct more action films. I absolutely love David Ayer as a action director. I mean, he's done phenomenal films like, his screenplays with Training Day, The Fast and Furious, and SWAT. And then he's also directed Harsh Times and Street Kings, which are two of my favorite, gritty crime films. And it's just the action thrill of it, and it really, really works. Kurt Wimmer is a great writer. You can see that. But he's written some films. It's like, wait, what is going on? He wrote The Expendables 4, which stars Jason Statham. So we know how that is. But this is a little bit better than Expendables 4. I would say that this movie here that stars Jason Statham is better than Meg 2 and Expendables combined. That's what, and the way he just kills people, absolutely brutal. But it's brutal to a point where he kills the bad people but lets the good ones survive or just kicks their ass. But he does mess up a few, good guys here and there for just fun. More could have been fleshed out with the villain, like I said, but other than that, it's a fun, fun movie, and it's a great, great way to see what else is in store for this movie. The ending is very abrupt. Did not expect it. It just, it happens, and then end roll credits. It's like, they could have, given us an ending, but it's like, if it happens, then maybe they might do a sequel. I don't know, but if they do a sequel, you can flesh out what the Beekeepers are, what this organization is, how it goes, and who Adam Clay really, really is. It has that John Wick feel to it. It has the Bourne Identity feel to it with all the aspect of the CIA and government issues and how people, kind of work together to stop the beekeepers or don't want to proceed in order to, capture a beekeeper because they know what they're capable of. For me, The Beekeeper gets 4 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about The Beekeeper starring Jason Statham. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the story, the action, the aspect of what the beekeepers are? Who are they called? Who was your favorite character? Who was your least favorite character? And do you think that the villain could have been fleshed out more? And do you think that there's a sequel to this? And do you think it could have happened? And also let me know, what is your favorite Jason Statham movie? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I will see you all in the next review video. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thank you so much for tuning in.